Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing my first foundation review, try on and all of that for the year. Today we're talking about Hourglass, the new Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation. So it's just hit Australian shores. It's now available in Mecca, and Mecca were kind enough to send me a bottle. I don't know how this colour is going to go because I didn't ask for it or request a colour. It was just sent to me, so hopefully it matches well, but if not, we'll just do the best that we can anyway. So this is the foundation. The bottle is gorgeous, just as we expect from the beautiful Hourglass. We have the same kind of colour there as the stick Vanish foundation, or Vanish stick foundation, the triangular bottle. It just looks really pretty, very heavy, very luxurious feeling. We have some frosted glass. This was sent to me in the shade Buff. Let's see how we go. I'm going to try and use some other Hourglass products, but I don't have an extensive collection of this brand just because it is so expensive. For your information, I really like the stick foundation. I wear the shade Ivory. And what I do really love about it is how little you use. I really like the coverage and the finish. It's very pretty on the skin. But the one thing that I don't like about this is that it's not the most long lasting, and it is a little bit transfer-ish. The opposite of transfer proof, you know what I'm trying to say. It transfers quite a bit and it can get quite melty on a very hot day. So this is one I'm definitely looking forward to using more in winter as it comes. I've only used this in summer, so yeah, this is one that I'm holding on to for winter because it's so beautiful and emollient, but it does get a little melty. So just reading from the website now. So the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation, what a mouthful, retails for $86 in Australia. So that's quite a hefty price tag. So I'm expecting great things from this. It says it's a concentrated, rich liquid foundation delivering full coverage for as close to skin perfection as can be. Creates a smooth, flawless complexion with a satin finish. Sounds great. There are 32 shades of this available, smaller than some of the more recent kind of releases from different high-end brands. And looking at the shades online, I'll insert a picture here. There's a lot of very fair. There's quite a lot of light. There's a little bit of, well, it's quite a bit of medium, and then there's nothing really deep. But we do have some. Espresso is the deepest, and even then there's going to be a lot of people who are not able to wear this, so that's really a shame, Hourglass. Okay, so according to the directions on the website, you do not actually need primer with this, although I do enjoy a primer, and I'm going to use the Veil primer on one side of my face and no primer on the other. It says, or the website says, that you really only need half a pump for full coverage, which is extraordinary. So that's what we're going to do. It is recommended that you also purchase the brush for this foundation, but I'm going to use a buffing brush today. I'm going to forego like the Beauty Blender on my hands because I feel like it's such a high coverage foundation that it's going to get absorbed into the sponge, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so all I've done this morning is it's about 9:30ish. I have moisturized my face, and I'm going to apply primer to this side and no primer to this one. So that's how much I'm going to apply to this side of my face. This primer is a cult classic, although we don't hear that much about it anymore. But for a long time, this is all that people would use. This is not my favorite, but it certainly does help to prolong the wear of your foundation. So let's go with that. Okay, so here we are, a beautiful pump pack. I'm going to apply half. I don't know, how do you apply half a pump? Okay, so I'm going to try and apply half a pump to the back of my hand. Okay, so is that half a pump? Is that going to cover my whole face? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to dot this all over the place, and I'm going to start buffing it in on the unprimed side because I don't want the primer to mix in with the rest of the makeup. Alright, I've used up all of it. Okay, brand new clean brush, a buffing brush. This is from Crown Brushes. This is one that I really like. And I'm going to start by buffing this side in. Okay, that has basically disappeared. It hasn't provided all that much coverage, but that's okay. The colour actually looks okay, but at this point there's not a lot of coverage happening, so I think perhaps the brush might have absorbed some of the product. Okay, so the half a pump has kind of given me a little bit of evenness, but not a lot of coverage. So I'm going to add another half a pump. Can you see how I'm trying to add exactly the same amount to all of my face? And buff again. So my absolute first impression is the colour is great actually. There's not a lot of coverage happening, but I feel like I've got just a couple of really, I didn't even know they were there, but a couple of sort of minimal dry spots, dry skin, and it looks like it's kind of caught on them. Like it doesn't feel drying, but it looks a little dry on my nose. So far so good, but not a lot of coverage. So interesting. I'm gonna just bring you nice and close so you can see what's going on. Be kind. It's been a while since I had any sort of facial or anything like that. So I don't know if you can see there, but it's kind of pulled in my pores a little bit, and that's actually on the primer side. And it looks okay, but again, there's not as much coverage as I thought. Not hating it at all, except yeah, the nose, like the going into the pores, the nose is kind of annoying. Okay, so really sad true story. I've lost my Confession lipstick holder. Like lucky I still have two of the little inserts, but I just don't know. I thought I used it last year at an event, and so I went and tried to remember which clutch I used. First world problems, and I can't find it, so I'm so disappointed because I love that thing. I loved whipping it out and like using it in public. It was gorgeous, but I don't know, it's gone. So today I'm going to use this shade You Are My, and just apply this. I love these lipsticks, they're really beautiful. Okay, so let's go into the other room where the light is a little bit more direct and you can see kind of the difference between the two sides. From far away it looks really kind of nice. It looks quite pretty. I haven't sprayed it down at all yet. Maybe I'll do that because I typically do that every day anyway. So I'll spray it down and then we'll go have a look at it in the other room. Alright, so I can't see what you're seeing because I'm not in front of a mirror, but I'm in front of the window here. By the way, hello plants. Hello. Look how well Monty's doing. Monty is growing another leaf, and the root down here, or the node, whatever you call it, is growing really, really long. And I've just washed some brushes. Okay, so side notes. Okay, so yeah, this is what my skin is looking like up close. I did notice in front of the mirror before that the pores were kind of visible on my nose, and yeah, this is what's going on. I used the Hourglass mascara, which is a really good one. But yeah, this is what my skin looks like up close. Alright, so first impressions, I don't know what time is it. It's about 10 o'clock. First impressions are that I like the way it looks from far away, but I'm quite alarmed at how big the pores look around my cheeks here, because they don't usually look that, I don't know. Anyway, they look pretty like out there. So this is now just after application. It looks quite nice from far away. Up close it does look a little bit just really porish. I don't know, is that a thing? Okay, so I'm going to check in. I'm going to go around and do a few things, and I don't know what the day holds today, so I'm going to go remind my husband that it's Sunday and that we're free today, and let's do something, but I don't know, maybe we won't. Maybe I'll end up cleaning the house, which is yay. Hey guys, just doing a check-in. It's about 3 o'clock, so it's been quite a few hours since I put this on, and it's starting to definitely show signs of wear and tear. I feel really greasy. I feel really, really shiny. From far away, it still looks quite good, but in person, once you get up close, it's starting to really break up in this area. It has started to really gather in what I didn't even think I had smile lines, but it's starting to gather right there and form more of a smile line look. It's also gathered and filled in some lines there. I think the biggest problem is the pore, are the pores. It really has just highlighted every single pore on my nose and my cheek area. And if you look up close, I'm not sure if you can see, but it just like I ate and it's missing from around my mouth. I didn't like vigorously wipe my mouth or anything like that. It's just starting to disappear. I feel like if I touched my face a lot, it would completely come off. I haven't been outside, I haven't done anything strenuous, I've just been in the house doing a few things, and so I feel like if I wore this like for a full day at work or whatever, it would get really patchy because just doing not much at all, it's doing that. I feel like I feel like I look really old. I feel like I don't know if you can see that it's really just gathering in I've got a mirror off to the side there, so I'm looking at myself as I film, but yeah, I just feel like it promised this extreme coverage and it just didn't have that. And now that it's at the coverage which I would expect or hope for, it's cakey. Okay, hi, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm actually going to take this makeup off and I'm going to try and apply it again using some different methods. The makeup's been on for, I want to say 7 hours. I don't know, I've got to do the math. But it just, my skin around my nose looks like, I want to say like orange peel. It looks really, it doesn't look great. Let's get up nice and close. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about, but the pores there are bigger, they look bigger than they actually are somehow. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this off and I'm going to use a water-based cream, no primer whatsoever, and then I'm going to use a beauty blender to push the foundation in rather than mix it around or spread it around. Look, about an hour to an hour and a half before I used this foundation, I used the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, sorry, and this is quite a thick moisturizer, so hopefully it's not that, well, I don't know what I want it to be, but hopefully it's not just that, or maybe it's just that, maybe it's that I've used an oily cream and then this is a water-based foundation. Yeah, I'm going to just take this off. I'll leave the eye makeup on because there's nothing to do with that. I'll take it off, I'll use some micellar water and use a, like I said, water-based cream. This is going to be a longer video than I had planned, but that's okay. By the way, Makeup Melting Cleansing Wipes from Pixi, these are great. So I'm using the Tatcha Water Cream, so just a small amount there. Maybe this is what went wrong, maybe it's not. I just feel like for a foundation from such a reputable brand at such a high price point, I just feel like it can't possibly be as bad as it came out before. Okay, so here it is. I've got a stained but clean beauty blender, and because I'm using a sponge, I'm going to use a little bit more than just the half. I'm going to use a whole pump for the whole face. So that's what a whole pump looks like. And I haven't used any primer, so I don't need to separate the face. I can just section the face off. I can just use it as I would a normal, in a normal situation. All right, here goes nothing. Let's see how it goes with the beauty blender. Okay, so straight off the bat, I can tell you it automatically looks a lot more high coverage with a sponge, which is interesting because often a sponge absorbs product. Automatically looks so much better. Look at the pores on my nose. They don't look anywhere near as filled in. I feel like I'd like just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. You know what? No, I don't. I don't need any more. I'm just gonna apply concealer and yeah. The other thing I'm going to do differently is I'm also going to use a heavier powder. So if you remember the first time I used ambient powders all over my face, this time I'm going to use a Too Faced powder and use a little bit more of it as well. And then I'm going to use the same palette on the rest of my face. So it was just past 4 o'clock when I started filming again now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wear it for a few hours and just see. I think after 2 hours I pretty much should be able to see if there's any difference to if it's performed better or the same as last time, because it really started breaking up very quickly after, or very soon after I applied. So fingers crossed. It was my application. It was the combination of products I was using. If that's the case, like, I'm happy. I'm not worried about being right or wrong. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong by products. Alright, so I've just sprayed it down with some setting spray. I think it already looks better than before. I'm gonna reserve my judgment till the end. Unfortunately, the light is fading, and so I won't be able to give you natural looks of the foundation for much longer. But for now, it looks quite good. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever like stopped a trial halfway through, decided to start again because I really wanted to give this foundation a fair go. Here is a look of my skin close up. I mean, you can still see pores, but it's not like it was before. At least the naked eye, it looks so much better. Wow. Hey guys, it's almost 7 o'clock. I'm outside here now because there's a bit of light. But the foundation is still looking good. So I did reapply it a few hours ago and my skin is still looking quite good. There are still some pores and sort of more than I would hope would show on my cheeks here and my nose. But it's not enough that I would sort of go, oh, well, I'm never wearing this again. It really goes to show that you need to give things more than just a first impressions, because sometimes things change and sometimes you really need to follow those directions. I'm going to keep it on for a few more hours. I'll leave it until sort of it's bedtime, just so I have more time to see what it looks like when my oils come through. All right, it is just about 10 and I'm ready to take this off. I think we can all agree that the makeup ended up lasting a lot longer and a lot better the second time round. There are still things I don't like about this foundation, so I still feel like it really exacerbated the pores on my cheeks and around my nose. I feel like it still isn't the most long wearing makeup, or foundation I should say, but it certainly did last sort of, you know, a few hours, and it looked really good for a few hours before it started to kind of, you know, break up a little bit and start to get kind of shiny. I think the key to this foundation, you must use the proper skincare. You must use water-based moisturizers and avoid anything with oils in it, otherwise it will completely break up the foundation. I think powdering really well is essential also. So if you want a foundation that will perform really well, you know, regardless of all the products you use on your face, then this might be one that you skip out, because like I said, you do need to be quite specific with what you do. I found the Beauty Blender works better than a brush for me, which is interesting because they do recommend you apply with a brush. I think if you're thinking of purchasing this, this is one that you really should get a sample of first. Luckily, Mecca are really good with samples, and they will give you a nice little pump or two of the product to try out. I certainly think that more than half a pump is needed, but that again depends on you and the coverage that you prefer. There is no way I would say that this gives full coverage in half a pump, unless I just have a particularly large face, which that might be the case. To wrap this up, I would give this foundation a pass, but not flying colours, which is a shame. I think for me, I like a foundation that I can mix with serums, mix with highlighters, use on all sorts of different bases depending on my mood and you know, the conditions of my skin or the condition of my skin. And this one here just seems a little bit too temperamental for my taste. So yeah, they're my thoughts. I would love for you to like and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you feel like you know, want to see more beauty content from me. Otherwise, I'd just like to thank you for coming and spending a little bit of time with me in my little corner of the internet. I'll catch you next time. Bye.